back in the studio, and we have Christine Piracci with us. She is the assistant administrator at Garden Ridge. And we're going to find out what's going on with all of this ban of our group activities and how many people have really been sick and how long we're going to have to put up with all this stuff and not getting together with our friends. So welcome, Christine.
Thank you. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
So Garden Ridge, like independent living, is experiencing a stomach bug, otherwise known, some folks call it a GI bug or stomach flu, but it's the norovirus. Norovirus, yeah. And it's a particularly resistant virus to, or rather, it's not resistant. It's a virus in which spreads rapidly.
Yes.
It's the type of virus that you find on cruise ships, where they talk about it went through the entire cruise ship. So it happens in cruise ships, it happens in nursing homes, it happens in areas of small settings.
How long does a person how long are they actually ill from this?
Well, the great news about it this time here at Green Spring, and I wasn't here for the last go, it seems to happen annually just about the same time each year. And it's really funny because our assistant director of nursing had said that it happened exactly the same week last year. Yeah. So it retains its memory when it wants to come out and give us trouble.
Find out who was visiting during that week.
Well, you know, that's an important consideration. We look at all of those factors, and that's why we put some restrictions in place to limit it from spreading. But it does tend to spread quite quickly. Yes. And I had brought some cleaners. I left it out there that we have to use. It's a type of stomach bug that you can't use regular household cleaner or Clorox wipes for. It doesn't kill it. It'll kill the flu, it'll kill many other germs, but it has to be a bleach-based solution. And something that's really interesting that we found out is that the Clorox wipes that you find in the grocery store, for the most part, are bleach-free. There's a tiny little line on it, about this big.
You always think of Clorox as being bleach.
Right, the brand name being the product, but in this case, no, most of them are bleach-free. So you have to buy something that's a bleach-based solution to kill norovirus. The residents who have had it, or the staff who have had it, and again, it moves through quickly, the good news is that they've only really been symptomatic for 24 hours or so. So it's not something this go around that has extended prolonged symptoms for 4 or 5 days, the week where you're miserable. It is frequently both diarrhea and vomiting, or one or the other. And it goes through your system within 24 hours. So fortunately, people aren't struggling. They're just miserable for the day or the evening. 2 a.m. you get up and you're sick, and then you're in bed for the rest of the day. And then, you know, you're not feeling so bad as long as you're taking in a lot of hydration and fluids and managing that way. But in order to prevent the spread, it really requires very intensive disinfecting, not just regular cleaning that you or I might do at home, or that even we would do in the building. It really requires this very special product, must be bleach-based. We get it through a supplier for healthcare institutions. So, you know, it kills everything in this jar. You almost want to wear goggles when you're cleaning with it. But so it will kill it, and it'll kill the flu as well. There are some cases of flu going on as well that don't require that, but it kills two birds with one stone.
So the bleach cleaner is?
The bleach kills the stomach bug.
And the flu?
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
So it'll just kill anything you've got around.
Yeah, so you wear the goggles. I'm kidding. You should wear gloves because it's bleach-based and it's an intensive cleanser. Yeah, and what we have our housekeeping department doing is all of their carts are stocked with these spray bottles of it. It's a specially made manufactured product. And then it needs to sit on contact for 1 minute. So it needs to be wet so it can really get in there and disinfect. You can't just go like this and then dry it off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it needs that time to penetrate. So that's what's happening with GI. We have more GI norovirus stomach bug in staff and residents than we have the flu, but this is also flu season. So flu is popping up as well. Aside from these deep cleaning that we're doing of all what we call high-touch areas, lobbies, railings, chairs, dining room tables, bathrooms, of course, everything, corridors where there's lots of people. We also have our housekeeping team doing a great job. They're going in and they're disinfecting and deep cleaning. Each resident who's been ill with it, once they're passed and they've been cleared that they're no longer actively symptomatic, they go in and they deep clean the entire room. Yeah, so what a way to do spring cleaning in January, you know, but you do what you have to do. The other kinds of precautions that we do is we ask people not to intermingle. We ask families not to visit at this time because our residents, many are immunocompromised, they're not feeling well as it is, and then if grandkids or somebody comes and they have a bug, it's a bug on top of a bug, it just makes for a really rough situation.
And following the holidays this way, it's so many people in and out.
Yeah, and we don't want the residents to get their loved ones ill either.
Sure.
It's so easy to catch either of these. We don't want anybody to get each other sick. So much so that we made an exception for me to come here from Garden Ridge today in independent living to be here for the show, but we've suspended all meetings that require staff from both sides to cross because,
oh, really?
Yeah, sure, because we don't want to cross-contaminate each other's neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we've done that. We have also restricted programming activities. Everybody loves their programming activities, and it's such an important part of our day.
It's all suspended here also.
Yeah, and that's so that folks aren't sitting as close as you and I are, and then, you know, me, I'm the Jersey girl, I'm talking with my hands and touching things. You would get ill if I was contagious, which I'm not. So we don't want to put people at risk. So the better solution is to suspend intermingling, suspend programming at all until we get the all clear. Conversation, I just read emails from the long weekend from our medical director at Erickson is talking about potentially lifting that for the IL side if there's no new cases, but I'm not publishing that. I'm just saying that we're in constant communication with our corporate office.
So it's a day-to-day type of thing.
Oh, it's a day-to-day type of thing, and in fact, sometimes it's hour to hour. We've made decisions a week and a half ago at 9:15, and by 10 o'clock we reversed it. At 9:15 we said we really want people to enjoy their experience with one another. That's important. Boom, 3 more cases come up and we close activities. Yeah. So these are just the notes just for the last week of all of our conversations and all the meetings. And we have a daily call with Chandra, our executive director, our medical director, our corporate medical director, and teams from both independent living and continuing care at Garden Ridge to make sure that we're all on the same page and pacing ourselves to be responsible to not allowing things to snowball.
Because I know everyone here in independent living is quite eager to find out, you know, how soon our group activities can begin again.
Yeah. I suspect as long as you don't have a surge, that's going to be coming down the pike very shortly. It's a little dangerous to say with the TV cameras because it's going out there, but the goal is to keep residents safe.
So it's day-to-day check.
It's day-to-day. Yeah. And in continuing care, our number of cases of GI and flu are going down, as opposed to a surge, which we saw here and we saw in independent living. So that's very, very optimistic news for us. It means that we're staying on top of it, but it could also be that all the precautions we've put in place, like suspended dining, suspended activities, are working. So if we lift and we see a surge, then we'll have to, look at it again. Safety first.
Right. Okay. So anything else going on over at Garden Ridge we ought to know about?
Well, I'm having a meeting with the team at 11. I hear we're supposed to have some snow tonight, making for a dangerous commute tomorrow morning. So that's one example of how we stay proactive. The team will be together at 11. If we need to sleep over tonight, we'll be sleeping over tonight, and I'll be delivering that news. I had to break the news to my kids. I could do it to our staff, but residents first. We want to be responsible care providers. So we'll meet together at 11. I'm amazed by the snow situation in Northern Virginia because I was told 8 weeks ago when I moved here we don't get snow. And now
Somebody was
pulling my leg. And now we've gotten snow, but if we get this much snow, the kids' schools are all closed. So now they're calling for a couple of inches tonight into tomorrow morning, and I'm wondering, like, do we shut down, you know? So
Well, the main reason with the school closing is there are some rural roads
yeah.
that get very icy that the buses cannot go on. And if one school cannot meet, then most of them are closed.
Right. My kids are thrilled.
Oh, I'm
They've
sure
never
they
been
are.
happier to be in Virginia.
Where did you move here from?
New Jersey.
New Jersey. Okay.
Yeah, so last week New Jersey had a tremendous amount of snow and ice and rain, and the kids still went to school. So my kids were home in bed with hot chocolate, laughing their heads off. And I can't believe we're about to do this again. So I'm looking forward to warmer weather, a little bit more predictable.
It'll come. We don't have a lot of cold weather.
You see, you're one of those who told me that. And
Well, that's not a lot. Maybe 6 weeks of cold, and
yeah,
then the rest of the year is great.
yeah, well, good. We're looking forward to it.
So, how long have you been in this type of work?
I don't think I've ever not been in this type of work. I wasn't always in senior health care. I owned a geriatric care management company before this, was an executive director before that, and a director of social services before that. But prior to my world of senior health care, I was in homelessness prevention.
Oh,
Yeah, I was an administrator for a very, very large homeless shelter. So I switched when I moved from from New Jersey to upstate New York. I found senior health care and fell in love with it. Yeah, so I did I'm a social worker by trade, and then an administrator.
okay.
So I'm very proud to be a social worker my whole
You
life.
sound like you're a very good fit for here.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Erickson has been a very good fit for me for the past 3.5 years.
Good.
I spent my initial days at Cedar Crest in New Jersey, and for the last 8 weeks I've been here. So
Okay. How many kids do you have? You spoke of kids.
2. My
Two.
daughter just turned 14.
Oh, lovely
So
age.
this is a challenging age.
Yes,
I'm
it
happy to sleep over on my office floor tonight. I have pajamas, snacks, my book. It's going to be a quiet night for me, and I'm happy to do it. And my son will be 12 in about a week and a half.
Well, welcome to Green Spring.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on. Okay.